Good morning, everybody. I know it's about to be the lunch hour and all, but I was just gonna, uh, for a few minutes, discuss the train situation in Sheffield and throughout the rest of the Shoals area, or throughout the rest of Culver County and all. Um, I have not had a chance to really discuss it because of how active the weather was the other day with the snow, even though it didn't accumulate, and the freezing fog that we had overnight, Monday night, and the early Tuesday morning, and throughout the day, Tuesday morning, of course. But now that it's settled down for the moment, or for now, for a few minutes, I'll talk about it. And you just join whenever able to join. But um, um, I remember um, when I was when I was going to work that Tuesday, I was letting Tommy Barnes and all of them know about a train that was on the way to downtown Sheffield. They had discussed to me about one that was stopped and had 12th Street and East Douglas, Southwest 12th Street and East Douglas Street in Sheffield blocked all morning or something like that. And, there's a number of reasons why they end up doing it. And hopefully none of those reasons would be if they end up hitting something or hitting someone, hitting a vehicle with somebody, even if there's someone in it or not in it, and hopefully not hitting someone, going across the tracks or walking on the tracks or anything worse. Basically, hopefully not hitting anything or hitting anyone. But if that were one of the reasons, that could have been, even though I hadn't heard anything about it. The other reason could be that they could be meeting a big parade of trains coming from Memphis or from Chattanooga or from Birmingham or whatever all is in the yard. Basically, the yard could have been congested, or it might have been packed up to where they couldn't go in yet, or till an hour or two later, or something like that. Excuse me. And there could have been uh, I've been waiting on the signal to get the all clear. Waiting on the signal to change, or there could have been track work. It could have been anything like that. But those are the only reasons I could think of to why it happens. And it's just something we just have to deal with um until until an overpass is built in the city. I'm talking about in the three main crossings in the city of Sheffield that I'm talking about that need it, or been needing it for years, is South Atlanta Avenue and South Montgomery Avenue and East Douglas Street. All three of them are hospital routes, but Montgomery Avenue and Douglas are especially a big time hospital route. They go straight to the hospital, or they're a quick route to the hospital. And there's another crossing in particular that it's also is a straight shot to the hospital. And the hospital I'm talking about specifically is Helen Keller Hospital. And like I said, for downtown Sheffield, there's three specific crossings that are hospital routes. Two of the main ones that go straight to it is East Douglas Street and and South Montgomery Avenue. They're straight shot, straight right to the hospital. So is South, also South Atlanta Avenue is a hospital route also. And they've been needing an overpass for a long, long time. If they had it done a long time ago, then it wouldn't have been a humongous concern. But it never did happen like it should have. So that's why you've heard the thing that if you see me leave a comment on Tommy Barnes or David Johnson's post whenever they mention about a train blocking the crossing in Sheffield or Muscle Shoals or wherever, that's the one thing you hear me. That's the one thing you see me comment about is bring on the overpasses. Bring on the overpasses. Because it's been needed for years. Same thing with Avalon Avenue. Avalon Avenue is located in Muscle Shoals, but after you get out of Muscle Shoals on Avalon Avenue, crossing the railroad tracks, you go right into Tuscumbia and Sheffield, and from there, on out to Helen Keller Hospital, and the talk about getting an overpass has been the case for a long time, and nothing has been done about it like it should have been done before. And of course, I've heard Tommy Barnes and them say that some people don't want an overpass, but well, to those that say they don't want an overpass, that is too bad. That is just too bad. It's not about if you want an overpass. It's about the need for an overpass. And you can send me hate mail and all. You can get mad at me about it all you want, but it's the truth. It's the truth. They need it, and it better happen. It better happen. But anyway, but until it happens, the best advice I can give you is one, respect the train. And what I mean by that is with if you're approaching a railroad crossing, and that's another thing I was going to talk about in the live video for a few minutes, is being safe when you're approaching them. One, don't be in a big hurry when you're approaching the crossing. Don't do that because you could risk having a wreck, whether it's hitting another vehicle or else end up getting hit by the train or running into the train or hitting the train, whatever. Excuse me. And another thing is when you're approaching the crossing, come to a complete stop. And I mean a complete stop. I don't mean just stop and go. I mean come to a complete stop and look, roll the windows down, have everything turned down or off, and look both directions. Make sure there's no train coming on either track. If you're at a crossing that just has one track, you still need to look both directions and make sure there's no train coming either direction. If you're at a crossing that has two or three tracks or just multiple tracks, look both directions and make sure there's no train coming on either track. And once you know for sure, excuse me, if you know for sure that it's all clear and there's no train coming on either track or on either side of the track, and the crossing is not activated, then you're good to go to safely and quickly get a crossing into where you need to go or get to where you need to be going, whatever. But if you're approaching a railroad crossing and it activates and there's a train coming, stop and stay put. put until the train clears. Stay put until the train clears the crossing. Whether it's just one train or whether it's two, whether it's multiple trains. The bottom line is wait till they all clear the crossing. And once the gates are up and the lights stop flashing, you can safely and quickly get across. And if the train stops, if the train stops, and no matter how long it's going to be there, if you can't wait on it to start moving again, and you know for sure, and if, if the train stops and you don't, and they don't, and if it's going to be there for a long time, for an hour or more, just turn around and find another route that either does cross the tracks, but is hardly ever blocked, or 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 a crossing or a place that does not, or a road that does not cross the tracks. That way you get to where you need to be going. Do not get out of your vehicle and try to, or whether you're driving or whether you're walking, that's what you need to do is wait for it to go by. If you can't, don't get out of your vehicle and try to walk through the stopped train. There is no excuse to do for doing that. All you're doing when you're doing that is, one, it's against the law to walk through the stopped train, and two, when you do that, you're risking, you're not only risking your life, but you're risking the life of those around you, because you don't know when that train's going to start moving, and you're walking through it, and it starts moving, and it starts to, you know, start, begins to start moving. You hear that noise where they're getting together, and if it starts moving and you're walking through it, you could end up falling off of it and getting ran over, end up getting injured or killed. So don't walk through the stopped train, no matter what. No matter what, if you're in a hurry or not, don't do it. No excuse for it. And if there's a train coming, don't go around the gates. When that crossing activates, if it has gates on it, do not even think about going around those gates. If you go around those gates, you better look very quickly to see if that train's on the way or not. But otherwise, don't go around those gates, because it's against the law, and you'll be risking your life and the life of those around you. So don't even think about going around those gates. And if the crossing malfunctions, and I don't talk about this very often like I should, which I should be doing, but if that crossing malfunctions, excuse me, if the crossing malfunctions, or if the train stops and has the crossing cleared but the crossing still activated, you still don't need to go around those gates unless it's an absolute emergency. And if you do go around those gates, look both directions to make sure there's no other train coming, so you won't risk getting hit by the next. That way you won't have a wreck involving the train or anything worse. So make sure you are aware of that right now, and don't risk your life trying to beat the train. And for those that are probably want to know about alternate routes, anytime that happens, the one that goes through the rest of what goes through Tuscumbia and Muscle Shoals and part of Sheffield is Covenant Drive. That's where that goes to the North Alabama State Fair, and from there past Buffalo Rock and Covenant Christian School and Northwest Shoals Community College. You can take that route and go past Buffalo Rock, Covenant Christian School, Northwest Shoals Community College, and before it ends at the railroad tracks to get on to Avalon, there's a road that goes towards King Street going into Tuscumbia. You can take that route and go left to go to Helen Keller Hospital. The other route you can take is getting off 72 going into Tuscumbia and getting on the Woodmont Drive off 72 to get into downtown Tuscumbia and turn left on 6th Street to get on the main street, get into Sheffield towards the hospital. And also turn right on the 6th Street, turn left on Cave Street before it turns into Montgomery Avenue to get to the hospital. Those are, excuse me, those are the two alternate routes that you can take anytime the crossings are blocked in the city. The other route that you hear me talk about all the time in the Sheffield Tuscumbia area is Blackwell Road West 2nd Street. You can take that route because it's hardly ever blocked. And it goes out of Sheffield into Tuscumbia. On the Sheffield side, it's Blackwell Road. On the Tuscumbia side, it's West 2nd Street. It's where the Colburn Ballpark is located. And you can take that route also. The bottom line is there's three alternate routes you can take anytime the crossings are blocked in Sheffield or Muscle Shoals. But the bottom line is don't go around those gates, whether it, no matter what, if you're in a hurry or not. Your life is too important to risk trying to beat the train. There's no sense in it, and there's no excuse for it whatsoever. Every life is precious and beautiful, and don't take it for granted. And your life the train can be replaced. The cars and all on that train, and your vehicle, and the property that's in it can all be replaced. But your life, but a life can never ever be replaced. So keep that in mind right now. Alright, this is the only video I'm going to do today. I'll do another one tomorrow discussing what's coming up at Layton Baptist Church. And there's no severe weather coming up that I'm aware of. There is rain coming in though. Perhaps tonight and tomorrow morning, perhaps Saturday. And it could be heavy. But there's no severe weather coming up that I'm aware of. If something changes about that, I'll let you know immediately. But, excuse me. But, unless something changes, this is the only video I'm doing today. I'm going to do just one live video per day. We'll try to do it mainly in the morning if I can. Until January. When it gets to January, I'll go back to doing 2 of them. Since we're not having services on Sunday nights. Spending time with family. And if our Sunday school class has a get together coming up. That's why I'm doing just one live video per day. Unless something dramatically changes. Weather-wise, of course. But that's going to be the case until January. When it gets to January, I'll go back to doing 2 of them. Until then. But y'all have a good day and be safe. Don't risk your life trying to beat the train. No excuse for it whatsoever. Have a good day.